Okay. So this lecture is the continuation to the previous lecture. So upon completion of this lecture, you can develop the mathematical solutions to estimate the regulation and efficiency of medium transmission line using nominal pi method. Okay. So now end condenser method and nominality method we were already completed. Nominal pi method. Okay. So in nominal pi network method, so you have to divide the total capacitance of the transmission line into two parts. One part will be connected at the receiving end, another part will be connected at the sending end. Okay. So you know that your transmission line network is a distribution network, and it will be having resistance, inductance, and capacitance, which are uniformly distributed throughout the length of the transmission line. Right. Then the resistance and inductance are the series parameter, and capacitance is the shunt parameter. So now for calculation purpose, for short transmission line as well as for medium transmission line, we were consider these three parameters, resistance, inductance, and capacitance, as a lumped parameters. Okay. So on series parameters are the resistance and inductance. They will keep as is. Right. Now the shunt capacitance will be divided into two parts, and it will be one part will be connected at the sending in, another part will be connected at the receiving. Okay. So if total capacitance is, of the transmission line is C, and this will become C by 2, and this will become C by 2. Okay. Half of the capacitance will be concentrated at the receiving end, and another half will be at the sending end. And this is the total impedance of the transmission line. Okay. So total impedance of the transmission line, which is equal to R plus Jx. Right. Now if you see this representation, representation is looking like a pi. So this network is called the pi network. Okay. And the current, now here you are supplying a voltage of Vs at the sending end, then current flowing from the sending end is Is. In a similar way, here you can connect one load here, right? So here at the receiving end, you may connect the load. So the load will be having a load impedance ZL. So and voltage across this load will be VR, which is called the receiving end voltage, and current flowing through the load may be represented with IR, which is receiving end current. Okay. Right. So now this sending end current Is will be divided into two parts at this node, right? At this particular node, this will be divided into two, right? The current flowing through this section, this impedance is the transmission line impedance. So you may call this current as a current flowing through the transmission line. Okay. And current flowing through the half of the capacitance at the sending end is, let us you call it as a IC2. Okay. IC2 is the current flowing through this half of the capacitance, which is connected at the sending end, right? So now this IL will be getting over here, right? Then at this node, again you will be having this IL will be divided into two, one to the load and another to the another half of the capacitance, which is connected across the load. Okay. Right. So let us call the current flowing through the load is the receiving end current, which is IR, and current half of the capacitance will be IC1. Okay. Okay. Now for this network, you write the KVL and KCL equations at nodes and loops. So then you draw the phasor diagram. Okay. So to draw the phasor diagram, you take the receiving end voltage as your reference. Okay. So this voltage we are taking as a voltage. Okay. So this is VR, which we were taken as a reference voltage. Now current flowing through the load. So this VR is the voltage across the load, and what the current flowing through the load. So this IR, which is called the receiving end current. Okay. So now this load may be most of the times it will be inductive only. Okay. So in power system network, most of the loads are in inductive in nature. Okay. So this IR will be lagging the voltage VR by certain angle phi. Okay. So when it is a VR is the reference, then IR be lagging this VR by an angle of phi. Okay, the angle between these VR and IR will be phi. Phi, you can say that phi R it will be. Okay, receiving and power factor angle also you can say. Okay, so then here at this particular node, if you write the KCL, so then your IL will be equal to IR plus IC1. Okay, IR plus IC1. Okay, that means for the vector IR, you have to add the IC1. How will be the direction of this IC1? Okay, so now voltage across this capacitors, half of the capacitance which is connected at the receiving end is, what is the direction of this current flowing to this is IC1, and what is the direction, right? So voltage across this will be VR only, so which is the receiving end voltage. Okay, so then IC1 will be leading VR by an angle 90 degrees. Okay, this is a pure capacitance, right? So if voltage across this capacitance is VR, then current flowing through the this capacitance is IC1. So then IC1 will be leading the VR by 90 degrees, right? So as this is your VR reference, though your IC1 will be 90 degrees to your VR. Okay, so this is 90 degrees to VR. Now for this, for getting this IL, you have to add this IC1 to your vector IR. Okay, your vector IR is this one. Okay, so for this vector, you have to add the IC1. Okay, so how you can add that here at this tip of the capacitor, tip of the this phasor, you have to add this IC1 value. As this IC1 value is like this, so parallel to this phasor, you have to write, you have to represent one phasor. So this phasor will be parallel to this. Okay, so now this will be the IC1. Okay, so now this IR plus IC1 will be the vector IL. So this is IL. Okay, right. So now if you, in a similar manner, if you write the KCL at this node, at the sending end, if you write the KCL equation, so then IS will be equal to IL plus IC2. Okay, so now you know the IL vector. Okay, IL vector is this one. Okay, this one. Now for this IL vector, you have to add IC2. Okay, so now you have to represent the IC2 phasor. So how it will be? Okay, now if you observe the IC2 is the current flowing through this capacitance which is connected at the sending end, and voltage across this capacitance value is your Vs only. Okay, Vs is capacitance. So this IC2 will be leading the Vs. Okay, but in our phasor diagram, Vs is not represented here. So you have to first write the KVL for this loop. So when you write the KVL for this loop, as here you are having the voltage is Vs, this Vs is equal to voltage drop across this impedance Z and voltage across this, which is VR. So that means your Vs is equal to VR plus, and current flowing through this impedance is IL. So IL into Z. Okay, so now in place of Z you can write R plus JX. So then your Vs will be sum of your vector VR plus IL into IR plus IL into JX you will get. Okay, right. So you, to get the value of Vs or phasor of Vs, for this vector VR, you have to add this IL into Z, right? IL into Z or IL into this total, IL into R plus IL into ZX. Okay, so now here you are having the phasor VR. So for this vector, you have to add IL into R first, and this IL into R will be in series with the your vector IL. Okay, for this vector IL, you have to draw one parallel phasor. So that phasor will be the IL into R, right? So then reactance will be 90 degrees to that current. Okay. IL into X, actually this is the voltage. So voltage always leads the current. Okay. So this will be the phasor which is perpendicular to IL. So that value is J into IL into X. Okay. So now this VR plus IL into R plus J into IL into X. All sum of all these vectors will be your Vs. So this is your phasor Vs. Okay. After knowing the Vs, you can represent the direction of current for IC2. Okay. Phasor IC2 will be 90 degrees to this Vs. Okay. So for this Vs, 90 degrees perpendicular to this, you will be having one vector which is IC2. Okay. So now this IC2 will be vectorially added to IL to get the value of IS. Okay. Parallel to this vector IC2, you have to represent one vector here. Okay. So here this one is the IC2. Right. So you have to add IC2 for this IL. Okay. So when you add IC2 to IL, you will get the vector IS. So this will be the IS vector, and the angle between this Vs and IS will be your phi s. So the phi s, cos phi s will be the power factor of your sending end. Okay. So like this, you can draw the phasor diagram for your nominal P network. Okay. Is it clear, ma? If you are having any doubt, you can ask in phasor diagram. Okay, you know how to draw the phasor diagram, right? Okay, after drawing the phasor diagram, let us develop the voltage and current equations for sending in. Hello, your audio, ma. Ahmad. Okay, right. Right, develop the voltage and current equations now. Now, as I said, what is the IC1? IC1 is the, so here you are having the impedance. Okay, and here you are having half of the capacitance, C by 2. This is Z, and here also you are having another half, C by 2. So sending end voltage is Vs and current is Is, and receiving end voltage is Vr and current is IR. Okay, they were represented with small letters. Okay, this Vr, IR are small letters. Okay, and current flowing through the load impedance is IL, and current flowing through the receiving end capacitor will be, this will be the IC1, and this is IC2. Okay, I am drawing again, ma, here the previous network only. Okay, so now to determine the expression for IC1. Okay, what is the IC1 here? IC1 is the current flowing through the capacitor, half of the capacitor which is connected at the receiving end. Okay, so now for this receiving end, for this capacitor, what is the voltage? Voltage across this capacitor, which will be equal to your VR only. So I is equal to that VR by X. Okay, X. So that X will be, as it is a capacitance, so that X value will be 1 by J omega C. Omega C. And this capacitance value C is C by 2. So this will become omega C by 2. Okay, so this one. So if you write the final equation, you will get, so J into VR into omega C by 2. Okay, so this is the current flowing through the capacitor, half of the capacitance which is connected at the receiving end. Okay, so this is the value of IC1. Okay, so then after getting the value of IC1, so then what is IL here? IL. So your IL, if you write the KCL equation, so your IL will be equal to IR plus IC1. Okay, and this IC1 value is this one, which is JVR into omega C by 2. So here we are writing JVR into omega C by 2. So then what about this IR? Right? As you are taking VR as the reference, so that means VR will be at an angle of 0 degrees, and IR, your IR will be lagging the voltage by an angle of phi r. Okay, so this IR at an angle phi r can be represented as magnitude of IR into e power j phi r. Okay, and this can be written as the magnitude of IR multiply e power j phi r can be written as cos phi r plus j sin phi r. Okay, so this IR value will be written as this equation. So this equation is represented here. So IR is equal to I, in place of IR, you have to write magnitude of IR into cos phi r minus you are getting, right. So as the voltage is as the load is lagging load, here the angle will be minus only. Okay, minus phi r you will get. So here also you will get minus. So then here also you will get minus. Okay, so magnitude of phi r into cos phi r minus j phi r. Okay, or you can simply write this equation itself. Okay, IL is equal to IR plus IC1. Okay, right. So then what about this VS? So VS is equal to, that means here you have to write the KVL. Okay, so VS is equal to voltage across this impedance plus your VR. Okay, so VS is equal to VR plus voltage across the impedance Z is IL into Z. And use the value of IL. Okay, IL is this total value. Okay, so this total value you are writing, and Z will be equal to R plus JX. Paloma, you mute your audio, please. Repeatedly, I am telling, once you join, you please mute your audio. Okay, so you got the VS sending end voltage also. Sending end voltage VS is equal to VR plus, so magnitude of IR into cos phi r minus j phi r plus JVR into WC by 2 into R plus JX. Okay. Okay. So then you write the equation for sending end current IS. So now IS is equal to your IL plus IC2 at this node. At this node, you have to write the KCL equation. So then sending end current IS is equal to your IL plus IC2, and the value of IC2 in a similar manner as IC1 you have to calculate, right? So the IC2 will be J into VS omega C by 2. Okay. However, you are calculated here IC1. The same procedure you have to use. And VR by X is for IC1, and this capacitance is VS. So VS by X you will get, and X is 1 by J omega C by 2. So the final value will be for IC2, you will get J into VS into WS by 2. So this value you will get. Okay. And your IL here, this equation. Okay, IL is equal to this equation, total equation, magnitude of phi r into cos phi r minus j sin phi r plus j into VR omega c by 2. So this equation again you are repeating here in place of your IL. Okay, so this one, sorry. Okay, this total one is your IL. Okay, and omega c here is the this equation. So this equation is you are repeating here. This is Vs into Wc by 2, right? This is how you can determine the voltage and current. Okay, voltage and current at in pi network. Okay, all the voltages and currents you got. Okay, after getting the voltage and current equations, you can estimate the voltage regulation and efficiency of this transmission line, which is represented by pi network. Okay, so regulation as percentage of regulation will be the same definition, which is change in voltage from no load to full load, which is expressed as a fraction of full load. Okay, and here VR dash is the no load voltage. Okay, no load voltage at the receiving end, and VR is the full load voltage at the receiving end. Okay, so the change in voltage from no load to full load at the receiving end will be known as your voltage regulation. Okay, now you are having your impedance and two capacitances. Okay, so here across this capacitance you are having Vs. Okay, and here you are having your VR. So if there is no load connected at this receiving end, so then the network will be, you will be having your Vs and your impedance, so and you will be having half of the capacitance, which is omega c by 2, this one. Okay, so this will be R plus jx. In terms of phasor, you can write it, this can be written as j omega c by R2. Okay, so j omega c by 2, sorry. Now here the voltage at this place when it is under no load condition will be call it as VR dash. Now this VR dash will be voltage across this capacitance, right? So now if you observe, these two are in series. Okay, as there is no load, so this impedance Z and omega c by 2, these two are in series. So you use the voltage division rule. So magnitude of Vs. So if you use the voltage division rule, so then voltage across the capacitance will be VR dash equal to, so total voltage Vs multiplied by your XC, capacitance value XC by Z plus XC. Okay, so now in place of XC you can write j omega c by 2. Sorry. So your XC is equal to 1 by j omega c by 2. Okay, so your XC value is 1 by j omega c by 2. So this can be written as, if you take a j to numerator, this will become minus j. So minus j into 2 by omega c. Okay, this is the value of your XC. Okay, so Vs into minus j2 by omega c by, so Z here is R plus jx, plus your XC again. So plus your XC is again minus j by minus j2 by omega c. Okay, so if you take 2 here, you can also say, so minus 2j by omega c you can write, or j by omega c by 2 also correct only. Okay, this is how you can estimate the VR dash. VR dash is your no load receiving end voltage. Okay, so no load receiving end voltage VR minus, and full load voltage VR by VR is the your regulation, and if you multiply this with 100, you will get the percentage voltage regulation. Okay, So then to estimate the efficiency of the line, the percentage efficiency is power delivered at the receiving end by power sent at the sending end. Let us call power delivered at the receiving end will be P, okay, which is equal to VRIR cos phi r. So this is the receiving end power, okay. So we have represented this receiving end power with P. So then sending end power will be sending end power can be written as P plus total losses. Okay, so total losses you have to consider. So what are the total losses? Now total power loss is the power loss which is across the resistor only, right? If you observe the current flowing through the resistor, the current flowing through the resistor is IL. Okay, so the power loss will be IL square into R. Okay, so this is for one phase, single phase, and for three phase it will be 3 into I square into R. So the sending end power will be P plus 3 into I square R for a three phase network. Okay, so this equation is for total three phase network. Okay, so this is how you can determine the efficiency of the transmission line by using nominal pi network. Okay, right. So now let us determine the ABCD constant for nominal pi network. Okay, so here for determining ABCD parameters, you have to first to determine the Vs and Is in terms of VR and IR. Okay. Right. You take the same pi network here again. So pi network you have to consider. Okay. This is Z and the capacitance is represented with Y by 2. Okay. In both sides. So shunt parameters will be always represented with the admittances. Okay. For easy calculations. So let this call this as the your Y by 2. And this is also Y by 2 only. Okay. So now what is IC1? Current flowing through this path which is connected at the receiving end. Okay, so this capacitance value is Y by 2. Okay, so now current I is equal to voltage across the capacitance VR into Y by 2 will get. Okay, so generally if you represent with the impedance, your I is equal to V by Z. Okay, so if you are representing with the admittance, it will be V into Y only. Okay, and this Y value will be Y by 2 here. Okay, so then what about IL? IL is the current flowing through the transmission line impedance Z, right? This IL is equal to IR plus IC1. Okay, IR plus IC1, and this IC1 value is VR into Y by 2. Okay, your IL will be equal to IR plus VR into Y by 2. Okay, so then what is sending end voltage? So for sending end voltage, you have to write the KVL equation. Now here across this you are having a Vs. So this Vs is equal to drop across this. So drop across this impedance is IL into Z. IL into Z plus, and voltage across this is VR. So where Vs is equal to VR plus IL into Z. Okay. In place of IL, you can write this IR plus VR into Y by 2. You can write in place of your IR. Okay. So then Vs is equal to VR plus IR plus VR into Y by 2 whole into Z. Okay. So this Z here. This Z you are getting this. Okay. And you write the equation as Y by 2 VR plus Z into IR. So this is the sending end voltage in terms of VR and IR. Okay. So in a similar manner, you have to represent IS sending end current in terms of VR and IR. So now this sending end current IS is equal to your IL plus IC2. Okay. So IL plus IC2. Right. IC2 can be written as IC2 is equal to, so voltage across this capacitance, which is Vs. So Vs multiplied by admittance, so which is Y by 2. Okay, so Vs into y by 2 is your IC2 value. Okay, so IC2, in place of IC2, you are writing Vs into y by 2. Okay, IL plus Vs into y by 2 is the Is value. Again, in place of IL, what you can write? This value. Okay, IR plus VR by 2. So this value, so this is IR plus VR into y by 2 is your IL value. Again, in place of Vs, you can write this total equation. Okay, in place of Vs, you can write VR into 1 plus yz by 2 plus z into IR, and then you will be having again into y by 2. Okay, now if you separate VR and IR in this equation, the final equation for sending in current Is is equal to VR into y plus y square z by 4 plus 1 plus yz by 2 into YR you will get. Okay, so now, so from this network, so from this equation, your Vs is in terms of VR and IR is this value. In a similar manner, Is in terms of VR and IR is this one. Okay, so now these two equations are compared with your voltage and current equation for currents with the ABCD parameters. Okay, compare these two equations with these ABCD equations, network equations. Okay, so Vs is equal to A into VR plus B into IR. Is is C into VR plus D into IR. So now previously derived equations Vs and Is will be compared with these two equations. Then the value of A is equal to 1 plus yz by 2, and value of B is z into 1 plus yz by 4, and the value of C is equal to, and D value is 1 plus yz by 2. Now, if those were represented in a matrix form, you can represent with this equation. So you will be having Vs and Is is as one vector, which is 2 by 1 vector, and your ABCD matrix is 1 plus yz by 2, z, y into 1 plus yz by 4, 1 plus yz by 2. So this is your 2 by 2 matrix, and here you will be having receiving an voltage and current vector, which is again a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay, so now from the above, you can say that your value of A and D are same. So A and D are same, so the network is said to be symmetric network. Okay, and if you calculate AD minus BC, again here also you will get the value equal to 1. So you can say that the network is a reciprocal network. Okay, AD minus BC is equal to 1, which represents the network is reciprocal, and A is equal to B means it is a symmetric network. Okay, so this is how you can develop the voltage and current equations with the normal network analysis method as well as ABCD method. Okay, so the previous one what we were derived here, these equations are we developed these equations by using normal network equations. Okay, so KVL and by using KVL and KVL and network equations, you have developed this, and you have calculated the voltage regulation and efficiency. So now, if you in terms of ABCD parameters, from here onwards you have to write. Okay, in exams they were specifically mentioned that in terms of ABCD you determine the efficiency and voltage regulation of a medium transmission line with either T or pi network. So then from here itself only you can write now. So no need to write these things. Okay, if they were not mentioned, you can use any method. Okay, up to this you can write, or from here onwards you can write. Right. So after determining the ABCD network, ABCD parameter values, which are for pi network, A is equal to 1 plus yz by 2, and B is z into 1 plus yz by 4, C is equal to y, D is equal to 1 plus yz by 2. Okay. So after determining the ABCD parameter values, you can estimate the voltage regulation. Okay. So voltage regulation is the change in voltage from no load to full load. Okay. So at the receiving end, change in voltage from no load to full load. That means what is the no load receiving end voltage, and what is the full load receiving end voltage, and this change in voltage we call it as a regulation, and this generally be expressed with percentage of your full load value, full load voltage. Okay, so if you multiply this with 100, you will get the percentage of voltage regulation. Okay, so from ABCD, so see here, VR into NL is the magnitude of no load receiving end voltage, and VR into FL is the magnitude of full load end voltage. And you know the ABCD network parameters, so which is represented as sending end voltage in terms of sending end voltage and current in terms of receiving end voltage and receiving end current. So Vs is equal to A into VR plus B into IR. Is C into VR plus D into IR. Now under no load condition, first you have to develop the VR into NL value. So you have to calculate the VR into NL. Under no load condition, what is your VR? Okay. So now if you take any network, if there is no load, then IR will become equal to 0. IR will be receiving end current. If there is no load, no current will flow in through the load. Okay. So receiving end current will be equal to 0 under no load condition. That means in this, from this equation, what you can say, when IR is 0, this term will become 0. Okay. So that means you will be having Vs is equal to A into VR. Okay. Vs is equal to A into VR only you will be having. Okay. So from this equation, what is VR? So VR is equal to Vs by A. Okay. So this is under no load condition. So this is called this VR is called the no load receiving end voltage, VR NL. Okay, VR NL is equal to, so magnitude of Vs into magnitude of Vs by A value. Okay, so for short transmission lines you will be having particular value of A. For medium transmission lines, by using different methods, you will be having particular value of A. Okay, so that means in place of this VR NL, you can write magnitude of Vs by A. So that means then percentage of voltage regulation can be written as magnitude of Vs by A. In place of VRNL, you can write magnitude of Vs by A minus magnitude of VR into magnitude of VR full load value by VR full load value. Okay, right. So now this is the voltage regulation of your transmission line for any case. If it is short or medium, so again medium end condenser method or pi network method or T network method. So the voltage regulation in terms of ABCD parameters will be calculated by using this equation only. Okay, the value of A will be different for different transmission line. For short transmission line, the value of A is equal to 1. Okay, and for medium transmission line, the by using end condenser method, you see here, you will be having these ABCD parameters. So for short transmission line, you will be having 1Z01. Okay, so the value of A is 1 for your short transmission line, and for medium transmission line, for end condenser method, it is A value is 1 plus YZ by YZ, and for nominal T, it is 1 plus YZ by 2, and for the pi also the same, 1 plus YZ by 2. Okay, you have to remember these expressions which are represented in matrix, so that you will know what are the values of A, B, C, D for either short transmission line or medium transmission line. Under medium transmission line, again you will be having 2 methods. Okay, right. In previous voltage regulation equation, here in place of A, if you substitute 1, it is a for if you are that for short transmission line determine the voltage regulation. Then here in place of A, you have to write 1. If it is a medium transmission line, by using T network or pi network, that where A value will become equal to 1 plus YZ by 2. If it is end condenser method, that A value will become equal to 1 plus YZ. Okay, so simple to determine the voltage regulator by using this equation. Okay, let us solve one problem so that you will understand in a better way. Okay, problem number 1. So a single phase. So your network is single phase. Okay, single phase 50 Hz generator supplies an inductive load of 5000 kilowatts at a power factor of 0.707 lagging by means of an overhead transmission line of 20 kilometers long. Okay, the line resistance and the inductances are 0.0195 ohm and 0.63 millihenries per kilometer. Okay, the voltage at the receiving end is required to be kept constant at 10 kilovolts. Find the sending end voltage and voltage regulation of this line. Okay, so here in this problem, it is a single phase line. Okay, you are having a single phase line, and the length of the transmission line is 20 kilometers. So it will be a short transmission line. So in short transmission line, the effect of capacitance is neglected if it is not given in the problem. Suppose if it is mentioned in the problem, then you have to consider now. Okay, so generally for short transmission line, capacitance will be neglected. So it will not be given in your problem also for short transmission line. Suppose they were given, you have to consider. Okay, so if they were given, in such a case, you have to proceed like a medium transmission. Let us see for this problem. You are having a transmission line, and that transmission line will be having resistance inductance which are distributed uniformly. And for short transmission line, effect of capacitance will be neglected. So you will be having only resistance and inductance values. Okay, and this resistance and inductance values are given in the problem. Okay, R value is 0.0195 ohms. Okay, so R value is 0.0195 per kilometer. So this is these values, resistance, inductance values are given for 1 kilometer, but your total transmission line in length is 20 kilometers. So multiply these two values with 20. Okay, so the total resistance of the transmission line will be 0.0195 into 20. So this value is 0.32 ohms. And in similar manner, X value. Okay, here they will given the inductance. L value is they were given. So reactance is omega L. Okay, so omega here is 2 pi f into L. So 2 pi f or omega. So omega value you can directly written as this 314. So if you calculate this 2 pi f value, f is 50 hertz here. Okay, so the omega value what you will get is 314 only. Into inductance value 0.63 per 1 kilometer. For 20 kilometers, you have to multiply that value with 20. So the inductance value, total inductance for transmission line is 3.96 ohms. Okay. Is it clear how you can determine the resistance and inductance for this transmission line network? Right. So now again, for short transmission line network, you know that sending end current and receiving end current both are same. Okay, in short transmission line you will be having only resistance and inductance which are in series. There is no shunt parameter. Okay, so the receiving end current IR as well as the sending end current IS, so both are same. Okay, the sending end current and the receiving end current both are same for short transmission line. Let us you call it as a I. Okay, now here the load value also given, load power. Okay, so load power PL is given as 5000 kilowatts. Okay, so 5000 kilowatts is the load, and receiving end current voltage also given. Receiving end voltage is always kept at 10 kilovolts. Okay, here VR value is given here, which is equal to 10 kilovolts. And power factor is also given. Okay, so the load is inductive load, which is having 5,000 power at a power factor of 0.707. So that means cos phi r value also given. Right, cos phi r value is 0.707. Okay, so when cos phi r value is given, you can determine the phi r value angle. Then sin phi r also you will get. Okay, you calculate sin phi r also. If you want to calculate, if you need the value of sin phi r, you can calculate by using this expression. If you are not required, then no need to calculate this. Okay, right. So now load power how you can represent power, load power P. So load power P is equal to VR into IR into cos phi r. Okay. So in this, the P value you know, and receiving end voltage VR value you know, and cos phi r value you know. So you will get the receiving end current IR. Okay. So receiving end current IR will be same as the sending end current IS. So which we will call it as I value. Okay. So that I value is equal to or I value or IR value, IS value, both all three are same. So P by VR into cos phi r. Okay. Right. Right. From this equation, you can calculate the current at receiving end. So which is the same as the sending end current. So which is represented with I. Right. So we are calculating magnitude of I. So you have to consider all the values in this vector also, in this equation also, magnitudes only. Okay. So P value is 5,000. Okay. 5,000 kilowatts. Okay. So you make kilo means you can write it as 10 cube. 5,000 into 10 cube you can write. And voltage is given as 10 kilovolts. So 10 into 10 cube again. So 10 into 10 cube. This 10 cube and 10 cube will get cancelled here. And power factor is 0.707. So the magnitude of current or receiving end current or sending end current, all values are 707 amperes. Okay. So current going to the sending end as well as receiving end, both will be equal to 707 amperes. This is the magnitude of your magnitude only, not the angle. Okay. Right. So you got the sending end current, receiving end current. Okay. So you know the sending end voltage, sorry, receiving end voltage, you know. Then you have to find out the sending end voltage. Okay. So sending end voltage value. For transmission line, the sending end voltage equation can be written as this value. So Vs is approximately equal to VR plus I into R cos phi r plus X into sin phi r. Okay. So here you know all the values. Cos phi r given, which is 0.707. So when you know the cos phi r, you can determine the sin phi r also. So that sin phi r also value will be the, if you determine, you will get the same value 0.707. And resistance and reactance we were calculated for 20 kilometer transmission line. Okay, capital R and capital X is the total resistance and total inductance for transmission line. Okay. So total resistance and total inductance we were calculated. So those values are 0.37 is total resistance and 3.96 is the total reactance. And magnitude of current we got is 707. And voltage, receiving end voltage is given as 10,000. Okay, 10 kilovolts is given. 10 kilovolts is nothing but 10,000. Okay. So now if you substitute all the values, you will get the sending end voltage, which is 12.175 kilovolts. Okay. So this is the sending end voltage. So now you got all the values: sending end voltage, receiving end voltage, sending end current, receiving end current, all values you know. Right. Then you can determine the voltage and efficiency of this transmission line. Okay. So voltage regulation is the you see here how you got this. Okay. So voltage regulation, as I said before, receiving end voltage under no load condition minus receiving end voltage under full load condition by VR at full load condition into 100. So this is the percentage of your voltage regulation. Okay. So now this VR under no load condition, if you use the ABCD parameters, what you got, this will be equal to magnitude of Vs by A you got. Okay. So that means this will be this Vs VR under no load condition will be magnitude of S by A. So now here E value is equal to what your short transmission line. The given problem, in the given problem, the length of the transmission line is given as 20 kilometers, which is comes under the short transmission line. For short transmission line, A is equal to 1. So percentage of voltage regulation, now the value will be equal to V magnitude of Vs minus, so magnitude of VR under full load condition will be magnitude of VR only. So this full load condition is nothing but the given voltage, okay, which is 10 kilovolts, okay, by magnitude of VR. Okay, so the given voltage 10 kilovolts under no load condition is the receiving end voltage only, okay, under full load condition. Okay, this is the equation for voltage regulation. So you substitute magnitude of Vs is 12.175 and VR value is 10 kilovolts. Okay, we are representing all in kilovolts. So 12.175 minus 10 by 10 you will get. So that percentage of voltage regulation is 21.75%. Okay. So now if they were asked to find out the efficiency also. So in the given problem, they were asked only the voltage regulation up to now, up to this value, you can stop here. Okay. Suppose if they were asked the efficiency of the transmission line also. So then how you can determine the efficiency? Right? Efficiency is equal to output by output plus the total losses you can have. Okay. This is a single phase transmission line, remember. Okay. This can be written as output power is P by P plus what are the losses? As it is a short transmission line, you will be having only series resistance, which is R. So that power current flowing through this will be IS or I, you can say. IS and IR for short transmission line will be same. So this can be written as the I square into R. As this is a single phase transmission line, only you have to consider I square into R. So if it is a 3 phase, then here you will get 3. Okay. Now for this problem, it is a single phase. You remove your 3 value. Okay. So then your efficiency is P by P plus I square R. Right. I value, magnitude of I, you know. So which is 707 whole square, and resistance value, you know, which is 0.39. Okay. So power P is equal to 5000 into 10 cube. So 5000 kilovolts. And here also 5000 into 10 cube, you will get 707 whole square into 0.39. So this you need not to represent this. Okay. Output 5000 into 10 cubed by 5000 into 10 cubed plus 707 whole square into 0.39. Right. So the percentage of efficiency is what you are getting here is 96.2%. Okay. This is how you can determine the percentage of voltage regulation and efficiency of transmission. Right now. You go through these problems. Okay, we will discuss again then in next class. Okay, it is time up now, so we are ending the session. So if you are having any doubt, you can text me now.